Welcome to Weeks Ahead AI, where business owners learn how to use AI to save time, cut costs, and stay weeks ahead.
Welcome back to Weeks Ahead AI, where today we're going to talk about how to make blog posts that don't suck. Is that the topic?
How to make them not suck using AI.
Okay, using AI. Who even does blogs anymore, and why in the world would we need that anyway?
I'm just so relaxed from being back from vacation. That, I'm just
It was
Welcome
a great
to
trip
the ride.
for Terry.
Welcome back, Terry. Mitch is here as well. I'm Brad. Thanks for tuning in again today with us. But yeah, this is a topic that we've kind of been debating internally and in some of our other companies, even just are these blog posts that historically we think are important to have on websites and drive, especially SEO optimization. Is it that critical today? First of all, let's make sure that we're working on something that even still matters. And if so, is there a way to automate and use AI to improve that kind of burdensome and tedious task?
Yeah, no, it's still super important. It's a long-term investment because that's what's creating the content that's going to help you rank with Google, with Bing, as some people use, and then ultimately get you ranked with the LLMs. If you don't have content or information for people to read, then why would they make it to your site unless they're looking directly for you? And so you've got to create organic content that's going to provide value for people, and then ultimately that value, if you've got traffic on your website, there's a conversion percentage for everyone that visit your site, and you'll know based on how many blog visits you get, how many clicks you should get that request more information or want to inquire about a purchase or ultimately even make a purchase. And sometimes it takes 9 months before a blog ever actually gets traction, but it's one key influencer out there that maybe reposts your content or links back to your site that all of a sudden drives a huge increase in traffic for you.
Well,
How many of you guys do you write blogs for your business?
Yeah, I do.
Mitch?
I used to write a lot, and now I don't write any. AI writes them all.
Oh, are we saying, do I personally write it? No, I don't.
Sorry, you misunderstood the question.
I misunderstood the question. No, but we're doing blogs. I think one of the things that we learned in our last episode from the on-site IT guys was just that hey, AI recognizes AI language, and if it's just pumped out, and that's frankly I've been guilty of that, just kind of going into ChatGPT and saying I need to make a blog post about this subject, and really taking it, making some minor tweaks, removing M dashes, for example, and a few other things, and otherwise using it. And so maybe that's not the most effective way. So we're going to kind of get into all of that, and if you don't, I don't know, if you believe what AI says at all, I just ask the question, do blog posts still matter? And it says yes, they still very much matter, and here's why. And so everybody can kind of do their own research as to whether this is an important topic for your business. It's kind of, again, just one of these, does this move the needle? And like you said, Mitch, it's a long game. You're putting in a lot of work to hopefully see some results that sometimes are hard to measure, but go kind of do your own research, I guess, first to determine if you think it's important. We think it is, and if so, let's figure out a way to make it better and easier.
Can I ask a question before you start? Because Mitch
What if I
is
say
the
no?
expert. I'm going to do it anyway, Mitch, because Mitch is the expert here and has figured this out. But if I'm a business owner out there listening, and just a small business owner, you pick the industry. How long, if you convince me that I need to start writing blog posts, or there's two different lenses to look through. One is I'm not even doing it today. Should I do it? And the other is I have somebody on staff that's doing this already for me. Right. Be interested to hear what you have to say about that and how this might impact that person. But if I don't do it today, how long can I expect before I might see impact on this?
It could be 1 month. It could be 9 months. It could be 2 years. It really depends on how consistent you are with it, and then if you're putting good information out there. I tell the story, told you guys earlier, when I was at Munster we wrote a random blog about dogs throwing up yellow slime. And all of a sudden we had a giant spike on our traffic about 9 months later, and we were trying to figure out where did that come from, and everything was coming to that blog because there was a treat that had been imported from China that was causing dogs to get sick, and they were throwing up this yellow slime, and we got posted by 4 or 5 influencers in the pet space. And till the day I left, the traffic from that site was growing every month still, and it was 300 a month and 400 a month, and then there were some months where we get 3,000 or 4,000 visitors a month just from that one blog.
Yeah.
And so you'll see a blog you think is worthless and won't do anything for you. All of a sudden, a few months later, you'll see, wow, people are actually reading this one. They like it, and it's bringing them to our site. If you've got people in-house, Terry, writing blogs, to your point, I think this is one of those scenarios where AI is going to force that person to either produce 10 times the amount of content, or if you really like them and they're a great worker, you're going to be able to pile 5 or 10 or 15 more things on their plate, because you don't have the need anymore to pay someone a full-time salary to write 3 blogs a week for you. And maybe you're not paying full-time, but you may be paying $1,500 a month for 5 blogs, and you just don't need to do that.
All right. So that's a nice little teaser. You going to tell me
so
a little more?
Yeah. So we're talking about Benchmark Equipment. Business you guys founded and started with Tyler. And we wanted to build a website. We were trying to save some money. We built it ourselves, and it worked great. And we started posting blogs, and it wasn't top of mind for me. And so last minute, I need to get a blog out. I go to Claude, hey, write a blog about equipment. It writes one. I copy, I paste it in, and go. And I gave it the standard, use SEO practices, use keywords, and use some backlinks to make it look good. And then posted it. Did I read them? Probably not. Then last week's episode, talking to Brian about how do you rank on Google and LLMs if you're using the LLM to write your blog, and it's like, well, you can't be stagnant.
Right.
And so this last week I built a tool to kind of take the best practices we learned from them, and now what it does is it's going to look at all of our existing blogs. It's going to look at our core business, what equipment we carry, and what type of services we're typically helping. And it's going to give us a blog topic first, and it's going to make sure that it doesn't duplicate any of our prior blogs. And it also looks at our equipment catalog every time to try and steer people to provide information based on equipment that we're currently carrying.
I think you mentioned also it will check for conflicts to make sure that it's not conflicting something that you've
already blogged before.
Yeah.
I feel like I just said that, but thank you, because obviously I didn't articulate it.
If you did, I missed it. I'm sorry.
No.
I am slow.
So it'll create a topic base that's not referencing any of the recent blogs we wrote. So if I hit suggest blog topic here, AI is going to look at all of our existing blogs. So it actually tells you what it's doing while it's doing it. And then it takes about 10 to 15 seconds, and it pops up a blog topic for us. So a cat mini excavator versus a full size, a complete ROI analysis for small to medium contractors. And then it tells you, why is this an important blog for your business? And so what it's doing is it's taking the high intent keywords that are out there, the mini excavator ROI, small excavator cost analysis, and excavator rental versus purchase that contractors actively search for when making equipment decisions. And then it goes on to give you 4 or 5 more reasons that this blog would be an ideal one.
I like the purple button right below it. It says get new suggestion. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to write about that.
Yeah. So you just click it and you'll get a new suggestion.
That piece of this little thing you've built right here, Mitch, that in and of itself is pretty amazing. Just to be able to give me, hey, go crawl and go figure out what keywords and what things people are caring about and searching for, and give me a topic and something to, very specific to work on.
Again, it sounds like you go back and listen to one of our earlier episodes on the importance of prompting.
Right.
You're getting this because you prompted this thing. You've given it very, very specific instructions.
Yeah, there's about 800 lines in feeding how to prompt it the right way.
Yeah.
And so they gave us a new prompt, specifically the Cat 301.7 mini excavator. which is one of the units Tyler has on his lots. And so it's going to tell you exactly why that piece of equipment is ideal and how it works for small contractors and landscapers. And then it gives you a content angle here, so you can pick from any of these. And then if we wanted to do a specific blog on some of the equipment we have, it's got our equipment here that we can choose from. And then when I hit generate blog post, used to be like 15 seconds and you get a blog post. Now it's closer to 45 seconds to a minute, because the way it's engineered now is go give me a blog with the best content on this equipment, double check Cat's website to make sure that the information that we have in it is true, and provide some backlinks to Cat, to OSHA, to the EPA, like anything that might be relevant for what they're doing. And then it says, then take that information, because the initial prompt is telling it to look at it as if you're a technical expert on Cat equipment and you're a technical expert on how to operate the equipment. Well, when you read that, it looks like a robot wrote it, because it's basically just rewriting a user manual, or it's rewriting OSHA guidelines, and say, now rewrite this through the lens of an operator, of someone that's either operating an equipment rental business or someone that's actually operating the equipment itself. And then, since we're located in North Texas, use examples that we have from our experience of using this equipment in different surrounding towns and counties in the North Texas area, so that when people in North Texas look for it, it resonates with them much more. And so the content's been generated. It gives us a title. It gives us an expert. So this is the metadata that'll pop up like under the image when you just copy and paste the link into Facebook or LinkedIn. What's the category? And then these are all the SEO keywords.
Yeah.
And then it gives you your blog. And you can see it just goes, and like, here's a good example, real world productivity analysis. We track product data from our rental fleet, and the 301.7 consistently moves 15 to 20 cubic yards per hour in typical North Texas clay conditions. A landscape contractor working a Frisco residential project last month averaged 18 yards per digging planting beds, with a utility contractor in Wichita Falls managed 12 yards per hour in harder clay mixed with caliche fragments.
Where's it getting that information?
So this is information from Tyler's work on jobs.
Okay.
So when he logs the information of, hey, here's after I got this equipment rental back, documenting my conversation with the contractor, it goes and pulls that information and incorporates it into the blog. And so it's truly like a actual real person wrote this blog.
Okay.
And then all we have to do is hit publish to site. We scroll up, we look at our posted blogs. It's right here. We have to add an image to it. Excavator. Save changes. And now when we go to our website to look at our actual blogs, you'll see it right here.
Wow. That is crazy. So it took you
5 to 7 minutes, maybe, of just kind of, probably could have done it in 3 minutes if we weren't peppering you with questions along the way.
Yeah, it takes almost no time at all.
Yeah.
It's got backlinks in here, so Department of Energy Efficiency Studies. It's got an IRS section in here for depreciation, Caterpillar planned maintenance programs, OSHA construction standards, and the Associated General Contractors of America for backlinks. And so it's pulling in really sound data from high-ranking authority sources every time.
Well, it sounds like a lot of work on the front end, though, Mitch. All that 800 lines of code and things you gave it. Is it worth it, Terry? So much work on the front end.
It took about 2 days to build it.
2 days to build.
But before, it was taking me about 25 minutes to get a blog fully done, because you have it create one, you make a few changes, then you copy and paste it over, and then that doesn't always go perfect.
Yeah.
And now it's a 3-minute process. So
yeah,
in
it's awesome.
16 blogs, I'll have my time back. And we can do one a day.
Well, and we've talked about this concept with lots of the AI tools, that it's not going to just be right off the shelf and work perfectly and just like, hey, go. And if it doesn't succeed amazingly the first time, you're like, this isn't going to work. it does take a lot of work. Just like if you were training a new employee to do this exact same process, the time that you'd have to spend with them is probably more than 2 days to get it anywhere near this quality. But you don't ever have to do this again, right? You're set for life, so to speak, on this tool.
Then it goes back to what Terry said. If a person can do it, AI can do it. And then the other thing Terry likes to do is like de-risk it before you go build it. So get in there, work on it, do it yourself 10, 15 times. And then once you've defined that process is now repeatable, then you can convert it over to a system like this.
Mm-hmm. I like that. And if I'm a small business owner who doesn't do this today, I'm sitting here going, for this amount of investment, if I can, build this tool for pretty inexpensively.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I invest 5 minutes a day or a week or 4 times a day.
Right.
I'm willing to do that.
Sure.
Not knowing what the benefits could be long term, and I'm willing to wait 18 months.
You're betting on the
to
come
see.
that hopefully it does work. The experts say it matters, so
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot. If it's this easy, if
like-
you can make it this easy,
It's like
for me.
taking vitamins,
Right.
right? Do you feel any different? Do you feel any different?
Take your
But-
Flintstones today.
18 months later, your doctor
Yeah.
might say, "Hey, what have you been doing?" I don't know. I've been writing blogs, and now my business blew up. This is what I like.
And the reality is,
I like it.
one more day and we could have it to where it creates a new one every night at midnight, sources the image, and automatically posts it for you.
Yeah.
So we're going to run like this for a month or so. And once we feel good about the content we get, then we're going to automate it another step further.
Quite amazing.
That is fantastic.
Well,
Mitch, you're a genius.
No, Mitch is a genius, and that's what I'm sure some of our listeners are thinking. That sounds really cool, Mitch, but how in the world am I going to pull this off? I don't even know where to start. I wouldn't personally really know where to start even. So, what do people need to call you, Mitch? Do they need to call Jeff Peterson? Do they need to call? What do they need to do if they want to do this?
Well, go to weeksahead.ai and send us a note.
Okay.
Like that's the easiest way to get in contact with us. And if it's something that we can do easily, then we're happy to look at it for you. And if it's not in our wheelhouse, then we'll refer you to one of the many development groups that we've started working with and agent builders. We've got about 5 or 6 on our list that we like and trust. And, to get started, just go build the blog in ChatGPT or Claude or Grok or whatever you're using and ask it what to tell it to help you do the same thing, to make sure that you're humanizing it every time. And it's not going to be just a simple make a blog. You're going to spend 3 or 4 hours refining your prompt because you're not going to like what you get every time.
Mm-hmm. And based on now that you say it took you about 2 days and what we kind of have a sense that these tools are costing to build, what do you think someone, if we did recommend that they go hire a developer to do this?
It's probably
3?
somewhere between $2,000 to $5,000 because there's other integrations that we built into this that our website's currently already built to feed into our CRM. So it's tracking every blog topic for us. So there's some native stuff in here that made it easy for us to do this in 2 days. Depends on what platform you're using as well. But I would say $2,000 to $5,000 and you should have a blog generator. And by the way, the cost of the blog, like the token usage.
Yeah.
What do you think that costs for each blog roughly?
Does it cost me $5?
About 5 cents.
5 cents.
5 cents.
That even fits my budget.
What does a token cost? I don't even know what that means.
I don't know, but 5 cents fits into my budget.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's the usage fee for that.
Well, they haven't gotten rid of the nickels, but they're getting rid of the pennies, so we're okay if we're spending a nickel on it. That's really cool.
That was an underrated comment.
Thank you. I didn't get many laughs on it, but I'm sure everybody listening was just rolling.
Oh, yeah.
Well, again, this topic, you may say, well, why would I want to build? I don't care about doing blog posts. The point is more, again, automating and using AI to help you do whatever you find is important. This is an example of something that we found in one of the businesses we're involved in that we need to do. We've determined it's important. Let's get this thing automated and use AI to help us. And so whatever that may be for you, it's maybe something different. This may be sparking an idea of, man, okay, that sounds cool, but not really what I need. What I really need is this. And again, let's start.
I had a call with a guy yesterday who had been listening to our podcast, and he just, I think his takeaway from this podcast was it starts making me think about different things in my business that I can really start doing with this. Right. And, you know, if that's the purpose that we serve, great. Yeah. You know, because that's kind of what we have done for each other. That's what started with our think tank group. Right. And it just, ideas start spinning up, and it's really fun and amazing what you can build. Mm-hmm. Or what Mitch can build.
Whatever Terry tells me to.
Well, as always, we hope that this has added some value and sparked some ideas. And again, we're here to help. Reach out to us on our website, weeksahead.ai, as Mitch referenced. Also, we'd really appreciate, liking, subscribing, leaving reviews. All that helps us build this community that we're trying to build. If you find value in this, we'd appreciate that.
Can we do an episode on how you like and subscribe? Can we do one on that? I'd really like to do that. I don't even know what that is.
Like a great episode.
Just scroll to the bottom and hit 5 stars.
Okay. Do that.
Well, thanks, Mitch. This is really cool. Thanks for showing it off. Appreciate all your hard work on this. And thanks again, everybody, for tuning in today for another episode of Weeks Ahead AI. Check you out next time.